I like this t-shirt. Greetings, folks. It's the evening of the day after Insurrection Day. Darwin's Theory. Cocktail Lounge. I'm not going to show you what it says in the back, but it basically says one monkey doesn't monkey with another's monkey. Anyway, don't play around, folks. Respect marriage. Help the other guy. Help the other woman. Let's keep it real out there. Let's not violate the commandment. Thou shalt not commit adultery. It also means not to water down your genetics. There's a lot to be said about breeding. And in case you haven't noticed, we do pay attention to breeding when it comes to dogs and animals. We sure don't do any good when it comes to people, though. Look, this is my 21st show here. This is the Dr. Kent show. The channel is Dr. John Taylor Kent. I usually don't do 2 in a day, and I have to do it today. This afternoon, in my dreams, there was a loud, omnipresent, what I thought was a gunshot. I believe that I heard an assassination. That there's one, and I usually get a 6-week lead time on these things. I cannot identify anybody. I can't identify a perpetrator. I can't identify a target. I can just tell you it was so loud, it was in my head and outside around all over the place. So it is a big shot. It's not a small one, and whoever they're going for is going to be big. We're way past being due for an assassination in this country. So, I mean, put your guard up, defend yourself, whoever you are, wherever you are, because somebody's going to get shot. Now, conversely, there was a shot heard around the world. April 19th at Lexington. We may be having a little bit of a self-defense thing, a self-defense action here, which Yahweh, Creator, Father, will bless. And in case you're wondering, right now, we're losing 7,500 Americans each day. 2,500 outright directly dying and 5,000 being incapacitated, disabled. 7,500 every day. And a lot of you out there want me to worship Donald Trump. Look, that chump allowed the deployment by the Department of Defense of biological weaponry on this country. 5G is illegal in Israel for good reason. It is a weapons system, and that assault continues to go on here today in our country. Go into the sheriff's office and report it. Tell them it's a battery in progress. It needs to be stopped. They're going to laugh at you. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're going to think you're crazy. You're nuts. Well, here I am telling you about it. But in 1974, according to my buddy who was, he was a Ranger, the Air Force announced that its most powerful weapon was 5G. It is a weapons system. And I can't go into any detail about the other biological crap going on. It's not allowed. Not certainly on this format, and I'm not going to risk sending against Google and their god, Eric Schmidt. Yeah. You need to understand some things. We're already in a war, and we need to defend ourselves. It is going to get worse. The gun sales are going off the charts again. They continue to go up because deep down people know something's not right. They can't put their finger on it because if they did, they would be targeting individuals they know are doing this crap. Donald John Trump facilitated this shit. Okay? You need to understand that. Now, can he serve Yahweh? Yeah, he can. And I know he was our choice. There's no doubt about it. He was our choice, and that's what we're most offended about because the electorate no longer has charge over the country. We got a little reprieve for 4 years. And we haven't been in charge of the country since the election of Woodrow Wilson. We're going to have an assassination somewhere. There's going to be something going off that's big. I can't tell you what, where, or anything. But I can tell you this. It was broad daylight when I heard this thing. That's the only kind of warning I can give. I know it makes me sound foolish. It sounds idiotic. I hope and pray that I'm wrong. I've been wrong many times before. Probably the thing I've been most right about is one that I hate. That is when I look at a man, sometimes I can tell that he's got cancer. And in the case of my father, I told my mother, get him to a doctor. I couldn't use the C word on Mom. She wouldn't have been able to handle it. I said, get him to the doctor, Mom. She listened to me for once in her life anyway. She got him to the doctor, discovered he had prostate cancer. By the time they got operating on it, it was in the margins. They had to go into the bones. He had a really rough recovery. He survived that surgery approximately 25, maybe 27 years, actually, I think. And then I had another friend, and he was being boastful and in my face, telling me I'm healthy as an ox. And then I said nothing, but inside my mind, it was screaming, it's in your bones. And within 9 months, Mike Niesel was dead from bone cancer. It had not been diagnosed yet. But how can I tell somebody that I don't know that well that this is what's going on? It ate him up real fast. It was in his bones. There was no stopping it. I guess I chickened out and failed to deliver the message. But to yell at him, it's in your bones, I couldn't do that. I censored myself then. The country is in dire straits right now. It's going to get worse. We are going to have to defend ourselves. Don't just buy the guns, take them out, break them in, learn how to use them, and learn under what circumstances that it's proper to use them. Every state differs, jurisdictions differ. Learn your local laws, be a responsible gun owner. Remember this, God gave you the right to defend your life, to defend yourself. That's natural law. It was given to you by Yahweh, Creator, Father, not by your government. The government's trying to take it away from you. The governments are committing democide. They're killing the people any which way they can. Our government has turned against the people. It is not for the people. There are no white hats. Get that through your head. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Don't expect to turn to your military and they're going to be charging anybody or doing military tribunals. Stop believing that bullshit. COINTELPRO. They keep you neutralized. Oh, did you hear? They killed Hillary on such a date, such a month, in Guantanamo Bay. And they killed so-and-so. But they can't go public with any of this. They can't tell what's going on. You got suckered. And you gave me hope for a little bit. And I appreciate that. There are no white hats. The military's not on our side. The military's been used against us for decades. There are no secrets and haven't been for a long time, because inside your house, you talk, and the glass windows record your conversations. And our army has been going around taking pictures of your windows, taking them back to some sort of a lab that they have, and decoding. I guess it's a perfect recording of the conversation. So even if you're talking to yourself in there, it's in the glass. They've been doing that since at least 1994. I think before that. And their secrets are coming to light, but the news media is able to distract you, and keep you from focusing on it. You need to understand. You need to question everything, especially what's taught in the big box churches on the corners. Especially when they claim this stuff is in the Bible. You need to read that for yourself. Well, I bounced into my doggone awning today. Got a little reminder that I'm just human. Nice little... I didn't realize it was that bad till I looked here in the camera and the reflection of me. Okay, folks. I'm going to keep this short. We're going to see whether or not my premonition has any merit. As I told you, I usually get about a 6-week lead time. I don't know who the target is, and I really don't care. I don't know who the perpetuators are of it, and I don't want to go any further with it. I'm going to mind my own business. Okay? I don't know what's going on out there. I don't like to hang out with these political rat bastards. There's only a few that are good, and yet they're so deceived and they carry on with the big lies so much that they're no good either. That's the way I see it. And I know you want me to speak highly of Donald Trump. Well, I can tell you this. I'm pretty sure he ends up in the Oval Office again. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be humbled while there. And he's going to end up on his knees praying. He's made some really bad decisions. He continues to show poor judgment, sometimes fair, at best. He hasn't been very truthful with you. He'd tell you the truth that there's no money. It's all been stolen. He'd tell you about the frauds that have been committed in your name upon your behalf in your best interest at different points in history in our country. 1933 being a big date, 1913 being another important date. There have been a lot of things that happened, and I'm sure you can put something in the comments as to what dates are important to you. April 19th, they did the Oklahoma City bombing. April 19th was when the British opened fire on us first, and we fired back. And they didn't like that, and they hated the flintlock, which was a weapon of war, by the way. And you all say that the Second Amendment, doesn't cover weapons of war. Oh, the British, they did not like the flintlock. They also didn't like the fact that most of us had 2 rifles. Well, actually, we had a rifle and a smoothbore, and we were using them both because the rifle was far more accurate, and the smoothbore, the musket, had no rifling, and we could reload that sucker fast and continue with firing. And we did have some fully automatic weapons back then, by the way, in case you're wondering. Lewis and Clark had an automatic gun that they put on demonstrations for the Indians wherever they went. It was a show of force so they could scare the Indians into knowing that, they could handle themselves. Leave them alone and you're going to get shot up by this thing. It must have been quite a sight. I do want you to arm up yourself. Whatever weapon you choose. Baseball bat. I hear hammers are the rage in San Francisco. Yeah, Mr. Pelosi, Paul should have paid his male prostitute instead of trying to shaft him and causing all that trouble and calling the police so he could get a welfare check on his male prostitute. And by the way, when he wrecked his Porsche, which was subsequently sold, there wasn't much damage to it. And by the way, the place he wrecked it at, it took some talent to wreck it in basically an empty parking space along the road. I don't know how he did that. He was inebriated at the time, and they protected him. No charges for him, but different rules for you or I. And he had a companion. I thought it was going to be a young woman. Turns out it was a young man. Yeah. If I was married to Nancy Pelosi, well, as my aunt said, that's enough to drive a man yeah. All right. This is the 21st showing of the Dr. Kent Show. I'm going to go balance this out so I can keep the numbers evenly on both. The other channel is Awakening Israel. You're welcome to join me there. I'm just going to open the Bible and read from it. A lot of you will be bored by that. Then again, you might be amazed. Let's see what that brings us. Yahweh bless America and restore our republic. We don't have a republic right now. We haven't had a republic in a long time. I mark the date as when the 17th Amendment passed. I think that was 1919. Not really sure about that. Go look that up. Put in the comments for me. Like this thing, subscribe. I only have one product for sale. There's 5 different formats of Bible down there. Do me a favor. Email the publisher, call the publisher, and put your name on the list for the Apocrypha that we want to produce, we want to get out there. It does have the future of the United States of America right in there. Yahweh bless.